Hello and welcome. Today I wanted to go into a thought exercise, and it may end up being a series to be honest, but it could just also be a one off video. But I wanted to discuss something that it's going to be controversial. It just really depends on the person that you're talking to. But I think it can be something that's along the lines of a number of things that could be an answer to this question. I don't particularly think there is one answer to this question because the scenarios can change, the items you need can change, the mindset. So today I'm going to discuss a topic on a single mindset. And I do believe that it is one of the many answers that could be applied to this question. Now, it's a 6 letter word that I think many of you have heard that applies to the prepping community, but I don't think is discussed in depth in the same way that it should be. And it's growth. I believe that growth can be applied to every single category of all of your preps. And this includes yourself as a person too. And I'm sure many of you would agree the importance of something like growth, but not necessarily all of you would place it on the level that I would. I would place growth on the highest tier of things that you could focus on. Because no matter what level you're at, there is always room to grow. Always. And so I would list that in anything that you're focusing on in your preparedness plan, you should not focus on where other people are at, and you should not focus on what everyone else is telling you to do if you're not focusing on how you can start at one point and move forward to the next. Growth should be applied to every category. If you have 100 pounds of food now, then you're doing well, but you should be thinking, what can I do to make the next 100 pounds come in? And am I in a position where I can store 100 extra pounds of food? Can I acquire it? Do I have the funds? Can I grow it outside? Those things all apply underneath the same branch, and that's growth. If you don't have any sort of growth, then you're not moving forward. And in my opinion, if you're not moving forward, you are in the same position as moving backwards because you've missed opportunity to move things forward. So staying stagnant is the same exact thing to myself as actually going backwards, because you're missing so many different opportunities to increase or grow or better your life in one way or another. So whether that be things like fitness, improving the quality of your preps, improving the quantity of your preps, it really depends on where you're at. And the thing that helps is if you take an inventory. The inventory can be an actual number. It could be the number of items you have, the number of ammunition, food, the gallons of water that you've placed away. All of these things you do need to take an inventory, and if you're on the lazier side, maybe you don't need to count every single one. You don't need to go through and know exactly what every gallon is, although I would suggest that you do that. If you can take a mental note of where you're at just visually, then you can add things to it in a way that makes you move forward. Whether that's improving the way that you store it, improving the number that you have, or just moving forward in any sort of mindset, you need to be pushing yourself to the next level. You shouldn't be weighing your growth against someone else's growth. You should be weighing that growth against your own. If you're weighing yourself against someone else who's less prepared than you are, you're going to think too highly of your position. If you're weighing yourself against someone who's far better prepared than you, you may get a little bit exhausted and fatigued with the idea of never catching up. And that's the problem with the way people approach growth. The reality is, the growth should be focused on your own personal growth. So you could throw a little caveat and say growth is important, but really it should be personal. If your growth is not personal, then it's going to be usually envious. Oh boy, spelling's great today. I probably spelled that wrong. But you're going to be envious of other people, and that's not a good thing if you're looking at others that are ahead of you. You're just going to be constantly beating yourself up. And then if you're looking at others that are behind you and they have less than you have, you're going to get far too much pride with the things that you've done. And while it is good to sit back and take a little bit of pride with your growth, it's truly not good for your long-term health to focus on being prideful. Sit back, build yourself up, make the growth small, and every time you hit a goal, you can celebrate. That's fine. It's okay to have some pride in what you've done, but don't be so prideful that you're willing to belittle others or hold yourself at a higher level that you can just stop. So, with all of these things in consideration, what I would consider to be one of the most important preps for any prepper in any position at any time, all the time, is growth. I want you to think deeply on this one. And if you've got your own ideas on maybe another topic that follows along this same vein, go ahead and place it down in the comments section. Go ahead and reflect on this, maybe over a day or two, maybe a week. Think about what type of things you could be doing to make growth in your own personal prep plans, and encourage others to also grow, because we can always do the mindset of rising tides lift all ships. If you're doing well, build other people up. It's the best thing you can do. Now, I want to thank you for watching, and go ahead and if you liked this content, throw a like down on the button. Subscribe if you want to watch more content that's going to be coming out much more frequently. And if you know someone else that also is in this same vein of ideology, share it with them and let's grow together. Thank you.